Yes. All right. Welcome to Feet on the Street. This September 23rd, Tuesday here. I'm here with Bill St. James, and I'm sure we'll talk about a lot of exciting stuff. I'm not sure what yet. I know we'll get there. A couple of quick announcements. A week from tonight, there's a networking event being held over at Richardson Photography, just a couple blocks down the street, and it's free for anyone to attend, 5:30 to 7:30. And there will be some light refreshments available. And on the 30th, actually the 28th, of October, from 5:30 to 7:30, there'll be a fall festival. It's free for anyone to attend. $5 will be a costume contest. You can win cash prizes. Fred Carter will be doing live music. He was here a couple weeks ago. That's pretty exciting. Over at Northwest Natural Stone, there'll be booths, raffle prizes, and all the funds that are raised that night will go to a dinner that Lynn's Ice Cream Report puts on every year in conjunction with CAP. And so we want to get the word out on that and encourage people to get involved. So that's enough for that. Let's talk about what you look. So you got a stack of papers.
I do. I did.
What you got going
well, what I wanted to talk about today or tonight, so I guess it's tonight officially.
Especially this time of year, right? It gets darker earlier.
Yeah, the resources for homeless and mental health people that have mental health issues. A lot of people don't realize as much services are out there. I am a recipient of one of those services.
When I've heard that that's actually an area that they cut back greatly, and to the point where I didn't even think they were necessarily all that available anymore. So it's good to hear that there is resources.
Right, exactly. Of course, you're going to win something like that. You're going to get the cutbacks from the state and federal. But there's a lot of local opportunities. Like I said, I was born and raised here, and I didn't know anything about it because I've never had to use it. Now that I'm using it, there's people just need to ask for help. That's one thing I noticed, which is hard to do. I'm not a big fan of asking for help.
I get you. I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
I'm good at giving it, but not so good at asking.
Yeah, see, that's the way I am too. I am too. I've always helped people and now getting help. And I just know there's a lot of people out there have the stigma. Well, if you have a mental illness, you must be crazy.
Sure.
Well, some people say I'm crazy, but no.
My argument is I think we're all crazy. I know I'm crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
It's normal, right?
What is normal?
Yeah.
But what I always had the misconception was that, always mental health, he's going to go off any second, you never know what's going to happen. But finding out from going through this is it's just a chemical imbalance, and people don't realize that the neutrons and all the things going in the brain just aren't. It's like your car if you took out a spark plug.
Sure.
You're shooting.
Well, like for most people that are surprised, I'm ADHD, and if I have a hard time going to sleep a lot, and I say, how tired I am, sometimes the mind just will shut down. Perfect thing to put me to sleep.
Really?
And most people are like, what? They keep me awake all night. But the way the ADHD mind works, it takes a stimulant. That's why they use Ritalin, which is the stimulant to calm those people down, or people like me, I guess I should say. So they take a chemical and, I'm balanced.
Yeah. I wish it was that easy. Just drink it.
Sure. It's not
there's medication. Not that I'm using medications as a crutch. The one thing we do have offered here is there's always a 24-hour phone number. Let's just go over. I just printed off some of the different places you can get mental health at.
It's that energy level at this point.
It's that energy level, yeah.
And Pepsi, bring me up.
Yeah.
Bring me down.
I was going to say, bring me down.
Yeah.
Some of the biggest ones, there's couch. They have therapy, therapists, people you can call and talk to.
There's services on a sliding scale, like if you have no money, they get you for free maybe, and
absolutely,
they can charge you for
absolutely,
okay.
Absolutely.
Cool.
And when I use the Lower Columbia Mental Health, they have they deal from everything from child and family services, adult services, crisis response service. I did not know we had a team of mental health professionals that would respond to a mental health crisis.
That's cool.
And we do.
That's very cool.
And that's crisis support unit. I've been up to the crisis support unit when I just had to get away. I just had to focus on Phil. just, I mean, they take care of you there. It's great. They feed you. They make sure you're on your meds. They give the counseling, and it can range from 1 to 3 days, or up to a week that you can stay there and get the help.
Right on.
They also have a 24-hour, and I thought I wrote this up, but I didn't. Oh yeah, well, okay, here's the emergency number. It's 360-425-6064. And this can be used even if you just need to talk to somebody. You don't know how to handle a situation, or you're feeling weird, you can call them and talk to a professional mental health counselor. I used it in August with like my year, I don't want to say anniversary because anniversary is a good thing, but year since I tried to kill myself. And a lot of that is...
Well, some ways it maybe is a year of a good thing in that you've been able to survive the year from that.
That exactly. That is the good year. Where I was then and where I am now.
Exactly.
That's a huge difference. But, you start feeling self-worth or whatever you're feeling, whatever you're dealing with, they're open 24/7. You just call and, if they think you need more help, they're going to help you. Another thing that I knew, everyone goes, oh, you deal with the police, you must be in trouble. Well, that's not always necessarily true. They are out there to help you, too.
Good.
You can call 911. I've done this as I don't feel safe for myself. For some reason, one reason not, I don't feel safe, and they'll come and, they come take me to the hospital where I saw a professional.
That's cool. That's pretty neat.
Yeah, it's,
of course, I think there's probably a lot of extra attention right now, whenever you have a celebrity that, that is involved in anything, from any kind of illness or this, or the recent, death of Robin Williams.
Yeah.
I think it probably helps increase some awareness that depression isn't necessarily a situational thing. It really is a chemical imbalance, so to speak.
But, I've been with depression, anxiety, and something else, but that's okay. And, looks can be deceiving. I've told people, I don't go, hi, I'm full of 17, I'm mental health.
Sure.
I mean, but, with people and friends I feel comfortable, I can talk to them about it.
Sure.
There's so many people out there that want to help, but they're not mind readers. So, unless you ask for help, they're not going to be able to know what to do. I always thought, well, I should be able to handle this myself. This is something I can handle. Well, it's not. And sometimes it takes just a phone call. I'm lucky enough being known around here enough by people that they check in on me. I had Lynn call with an urgent phone call the other day because she hadn't seen me at all. I'm the type of guy with things, I had a hiccup a couple weeks ago and thought it'd be a good idea to go to the Rainier Bridge and jump, but thank God that didn't happen. That's why I said it's been a deep, but, there's so much out there to do. There's so much, there's just so much out there to look for. Another thing I've experienced in the last year is homelessness. Longview, Kelso, Cowles County has a homeless problem.
Absolutely.
And people don't get it. They think, well, they want to be homeless. Well, not everyone wants to be homeless. I didn't want to be homeless. Choices we make put it that way. And people go, I was living at the community house and they quit serving non-residents. People go, well, where do people go, to get food and to eat and stuff? And there are places around town. Salvation Army does lunch. Different church groups and organizations will help out. And there's also a bunch of, if you need, I forgot to talk about one other thing. I'm jumping back and forth. My mind does that. We talked about the Lord Columbia Mental Health. I'll come back to the food thing. Peace Health also has behavioral health. addiction to drugs or alcohol. You know, if you're bipolar, people go, oh, he's bipolar, he's going to Jekyll and Hyde. Well, I've been with bipolar. I'm, bipolar, and I don't. It's not the Jekyll and Hyde, and here's Phil, and then here's Johnny. You know, it doesn't work that way.
Here's Johnny.
Exactly. When the
Bipolar, a lot of times, kind of, as I understand it, it's like I think Williams is kind of a high and low.
It is.
Too, right?
It is. You get the manic highs.
Yeah.
And then you get the low lows. Well, I kind of want, you want to be in the middle.
Sure.
You don't want to get too excited. I'm the type of person, I either do a 0 or I go 100%. There's no
I'm kind of the same way.
If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it all the way. You know. And
I think people ask me about bipolar because I mean we've got that in our family, and and I'm either really on top of the cloud or kind of like, but yeah.
But when I well, like I said, I haven't been on Facebook for a while. I guess people been asked because I was on there daily, just because I was in my apartment and didn't know what else to do. But I taken that break from Facebook. Well, I guess people. I mean, I just went from hey, what's going on today to nothing. And that's kind of my signs and symptoms. When I get quiet, when I mellow out, when I retreat, hide, as I call it, my little apartment, that's a sign for me and my family, and that something's going on. Something's going on. But you can go to Peace Health, hospital. I mentioned Lower Columbia Mental Health. I put my glasses on so I can read. Never had that before. Family Health Center, which is the health center that's a couple blocks down here that work on a sliding scale. They also have some behavioral help. It's just there's a lot of places out there you just gotta call and ask for it, and there's times when you're on your with my bipolar, when I'm on my manic high, as I call it, it's just like I know what I need to do, but I just don't do it for some reason or another.
I think that's probably one of the biggest things that challenge for a lot of people in life is knowing what, but not doing. That could really mess with your mind or for example, a person says they want to be in shape, but they eat, 4 cheeseburgers a day and never go to the gym.
Right.
That's a really tough battle. If you really, really want to be in shape, you're not doing I often feel that I eat the wrong things when I exercise, But I would like to be in shape. I'm not sure.
But it just, I don't know. It's just that there's such a need out there. People go, well, it can never happen to me. Well, I said that then.
Sure.
This would never happen to me. I got my test together.
Yeah.
Well, amazing, strong.
I believe quite the opposite. I think it happens just about anybody.
Now see, that's what I've gotten. And it's okay.
All right, you guys are back on.
Go back.
Pick up where you left off.
Picked up where we left off. But we had no
All right.
technical difficulties
Thank you
here.
for that commercial break, everybody. Hope you enjoyed it. We're back. So, talk about additional resources. Lots of great resources. out
That's
there.
exactly what we were talking about. Thanks for bringing my mind back.
Hey,
I just
sorry.
happened to.
I had the ADHD. I'm surprised I was able to bring it back. Like, what were we talking about?
Yes,
What
no,
outside?
who's talking to me?
It's raining out there.
It is raining out there, which, that's another thing, people, because of our area and our weather,
Yeah.
they get depression from always being gray and drizzly.
Because you get the vitamin deficiency. I think it's
Vitamin
vitamin D.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of vitamin D,
No.
which comes from the sun.
Yeah.
I just want to go quickly over some of the places that you can call to get help for mental health, behavioral. Crisis line, we talked about that. A child's place, which is through Peace Health. They do adult, marital, family, child counseling center. Cascade Psychological Service, Catholic Community Family Services. There's a list here, and I could read every one, but I'm not going to. What I did to come up with this list is I wrote mental health help or mental health resources for Cowlitz County. And it printed me out a lot of pages and stuff. So there are places out there. There are people wanting to help.
And let's say someone finds themselves in a moment of despair and they, don't feel like they even have the time to. I think I know the answer here, but they don't even have the time to even look up a number. 911 is probably a
911 is
right
absolutely. We were talking about that.
And what if they go, I got to call for someone else's emergency? Well, you can certainly call for your own.
Oh, and I have.
You
I've called 911 and saying I'm not safe. Well, they sent a couple officers over, which, and they got me the help. I mean, like I said, if you think you're going through something, you open the door and read through all this stuff. 911, they go, what's your emergency? All you guys, tell them what you're doing, and they can get you connected big time.
Yeah, these resources are great, but in a pinch, if you got time to research it, great. There's lots of great resources out there, or something that's not immediate, I guess what I'm getting at.
Right, if there's an
threat to
immediate
yourself or others.
Yes, absolutely.
As a result of how you feel.
Call 911. They're not going to take you to jail. They're not there to take you to jail. They're there to help you. And that's the biggest thing is people sometimes, I should say to myself, I don't want to admit that I have a problem.
Sure.
I don't want to admit that I'm bipolar. I don't want to admit that I have anxiety, depression, but it happens.
I think we're in a society that tends to label. We label in so many different ways, based on race, based on sex, based on age, based on status, based on all these different things, and based on mental different things or whatever. And so I think that's a challenge. And I think maybe people are afraid of being labeled to the point where they don't get the help.
Right. I think that's a very fair statement.
Yeah, I don't want to be labeled as crazy.
That's the way I look.
Sure.
That's the way I was. I don't want to deal. I've always on the outside. We were talking about that. I don't know. We were talking about it on here when we got cut off.
Sure.
But talking about, you got to admit it to yourself first. I need help. I didn't want to come out and admit because I did the same thing. Oh, your mental health issues. Oh, you're, one flew over the cuckoo's nest
Sure.
part. But I think more and more, I don't know if it's because I'm more into it, but I realize there's a lot of people out there that need help.
And maybe I'm wrong in my assessment here, but I actually think more people, at different levels, but I think more people probably suffer from some level of mental, whatever disability or whatever it is, than not. Actually, I think maybe different degrees. It might be on a scale of 1 to 100. Maybe some people are closer to 100. Let's say that's the biggest challenges, and maybe some are more like a 20 or 30. But even those that are 20 or 30, let's face it. If you're a marathon runner and you're running marathons and you're finishing 12th, you might finish 5th if you work a little bit harder. And now that's a little weird to say it this way, but if you're at this stage,
sure.
there's nothing to say you couldn't progress.
Either
direction.
Either Yeah, and I can guarantee you, a year ago today, I was worse than I am a year ago now.
Sure.
I still have the same issues, but at least I'm getting help for them. And that's the hardest thing is reaching out. And I wish there was I know there's a place you can call, like you said, 911, and you just don't need to report a crime. You can say, I need help, and they'll either transfer you to someone who can help you, or they're going to send someone over to, they have response teams that, mental health professionals will come. And I know at Lower Columbia Mental Health, they're going more out into the community. Instead of you coming to them, they're going to be coming to you at different places.
That's pretty cool. So actually come to your home then? Or?
They can come to your home. Right now, I know they're going to, like the Three Rivers Church behind the community house, right by Bob's. Love Overwhelming has their program for the homeless.
Sure.
And I know now they're bringing in professional counselors to help with that, to help with their, with help their thing. Again, we talked about homeless. Yeah, we have a homeless situation. I unfortunately was homeless during the winter storms. I don't know why I thought that was a good idea, but I did.
Wow.
Instead of 90-degree weather.
Wow.
And it's just like, where do I go? What do I do? You need to ask for help. I can't say that.
Untreated too, I think, maybe this is, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I would think untreated, it could also cause actual physical body conditions, additional diseases. It could create dependencies on different substances and things like that. I've often said in my family, I feel like we're all addicted to something.
Yeah. I know my family.
I look at it, and like the ones, like me, I tend to be more on the addicted to work side. That's not good either. But it seems like it's, or I'm addicted to Pepsi, which is horrible for me, even though. But anyway, yeah, I think we're all. That's why I'm so afraid of alcohol. For example, I drink it a few times a year, but I know, I know myself well enough to know.
Well, see, and I know myself better, but like I said a couple of weeks ago when I did relapse, and that's how it started.
Sure.
I'm gonna go out and have a couple of drinks.
Sure.
Well, couple wasn't good enough.
Sure.
So I ended up, and then I left the bar, and all this guilt and, God, you're a failure again. What, you can't even control yourself, and all this self-worth, you're not worth anything. I can go around with a smile on my face, and inside I'm just a volcano.
I get it.
How are you? Oh, I'm doing fine. How are you? More important to get it out of me.
Exactly.
How are you?
Remember for me and find out how they're doing.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I ended up, I call it the evil one. I don't know why it just sounded right. Came and thought it was a good idea that I go take care of myself. I'm glad it didn't happen. I actually fell because I have injuries related to sports for 30 plus years that I played them. And I couldn't get up, so they actually called an ambulance, which was cool because I went to get help, and I thought it was for a medical thing, but it ended up being for being. They gave me a blanket, and I thought, well, I couldn't get to the bridge. I'm going to do it here, and I put it around my neck and just twisted it as hard as I could. It seemed like forever,
Sure,
but I don't know how long it actually was. And, it's just like, you need help. I thought I could control my own program. Well, I didn't go to school for behavioral health.
Exactly.
I'm not a doctor. And
I don't know if this would help a lot of people out there. For me, one of the things that seems like helps for me is like reprogramming my brain, like piece of the evil side. Calm me down, but it seems like to me, and again, I'm not saying this for everybody, but for me, like reading or listening to people like he talks about, success principles and things, and it's like, don't know how to explain it, but yeah, Jim Rohn, Brian Tracy, you're just the ones out there. There's one of my favorites. Who he is.
Yeah,
but it's amazing. There's something in that. You know, I'm not saying it's everything, but
well, one thing that I think is exciting that's going to be starting here in this area is, you know, they have meetings where people that eat too much alcohol and drugs.
yeah,
They're actually people, anxiety, just, you know, the way that, you know, so they can check on each other. Because, you know, someone would have called me up that night before I started drinking.
sure.
And says, what's going on? And I was agitated, and I got, well, a couple drinks with me. You know, well, being an alcoholic, that doesn't work.
Sure.
Next thing I know, Phil's, you know, tipsy. But if there was a place I could go and talk about my depression, you know, or my anxiety, and someone goes, oh yeah, I feel like that too. And
Sure.
hopefully, so I'm really excited about that.
I think the benefit in that too is I would think is like, I think sometimes if you feel like you're alone, you know, like if you're the only person in the world that is a certain way, then that makes it that much not okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. But if you find other people that are like that, you're like, hey, this is all
I'm
right.
not the only one that's dealing with this.
Yeah.
That's, you know, that's what I thought of for a long time. Oh, I'm the only one. I'm the only brother out of 4 that has this. I must be a disappointment somehow. People that check with me, I call them check-ins. Yeah, I can't do it when I'm not on Facebook, but, you know. People check in with me. How you doing? And it's okay. I'm going to say you can lie to someone else, but never lie to yourself.
That's true. That's very, very true.
Yeah, because I don't. Lying's not good. Not
Sure.
not supporting that. But don't lie to yourself. You know, it's okay to have a bad day. That's another thing. You know, because usually I'm an uplifted person. And, hey, things are going great. How you doing? Let's go do. Well, when I get in one of my depression modes, or things aren't going good.
Sure. Sure.
Even though,
Yeah. Society teaches us if somebody says, how is it going? And the answer is very simple. It's going great.
right. Because to people, you know, I found out that my friends, my close friends and my acquaintances, they really do care.
Sure.
Because most people, you know, you walk down the street, you say, how are you doing? And you go into this spiel.
Yeah, they're just like, hey. Sorry I asked.
Sorry I asked,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
But, you know, like I said, I'm not going to wear a shirt saying, hi, I'm Phil, I have mental issues.
Sure.
But I've been walking up and down Commerce, this area, late at night, just talking to people. Just saying, you know, because some people just want to be, you know, they're human. I mean, they may be homeless. I was homeless. And if someone just says, how you doing? And really mean it. Not just because it's the thing society says you should do. But how you doing? And really mean it. And, you know, so it takes 5 minutes out of your day to sit with a listen. I talked to a guy the other night, never met him before, and he was sitting on the bench. I sat down next to him. I said, how's it going? You don't care. I said, no, actually I do. You know, I'm not trying to put a star or an angel on me, but if I would have people have done that, maybe last August I wouldn't have done that. You know, and like you said, my biggest thing is, oh, we're happy-go-lucky on the outside. You know, don't lie to yourself. If you have problems, tell people about it. You know, and people that truly care and love you will help you.
Well, you know, to your point, you have to look at the outside. You know, it's usually seems like you're more alive. Really, everybody likes how could that happen?
Right.
You know, and so that's, you know, I think there might be a common thread there, and maybe not. Maybe it's just the ones I've noticed, but I think it's probably people that are creating a bomb inside because they're really trying to just take it all, you know, so to speak.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what I've noticed too. Is that it, you know, it's like the volcano. You know, it builds up and builds up and builds up, and you know, also when you say you like, you know, it's also okay to say, hey, I've got a problem with what you just did, or what you just said. instead of harboring it and going, it's okay to say, I have a problem with that. And then you guys hopefully will discuss it out and talk about all the different things. But instead of just saying, well, a lot of times if I get insulted, I don't care. I'm a referee in football. I get insulted all the time.
Sure, Marlon.
But who cares? But if someone says something bad towards me or about me, I gotta sit and think, is it really worth it? Are they really worth my time? I mean, what impact do they have? If my family says it, it's going to be different than something.
Absolutely.
Another kind of switching from mental health, we have a big, called the Working For class, for lack of a better word.
Much bigger class than any of them now.
Yeah, and it is. And, things are tight. Times are tight.
Horrible.
But there are, I don't know.
6:30.
Oh, it is
It's
time.
about, but hey,
Well, we talked about this.
I can sometime, honestly. I mean,
We can do that.
For an hour.
I started.
Also, I don't want to take
Final thoughts. If you're having a problem, if you're having thoughts in your head, seek help. I mean, all it takes is asking for help. Like I said, there's a variety of services. Like you said, if you're in a romantic state, you can just call 911. But seek help. You're not the only one out there.
That's cool.
All right.
Okay, I gotta do this really quick, okay?
The shout out.
Shout outs.
The shout outs. The shout outs. Ray from Longview, Dave from Germany, Anne from Longview, Rachel from Escondido, California, Elisa from McKilso, Aaron from Vader, Michael from North Dakota, Renee from New Hampshire, Connie from Cleveland, Connie from Winlock, Debbie from Vancouver, Christine from Longview, Darcy from Longview, Gail from Australia, Vitalis from Kenya, Marth from Tacoma, Susan from England, Jamal from Africa, Stephen from Oregon, Rich from Seattle, TJ from the Midwest, Lynn from Victoria, BC, and Lynn from Longview.
I know we both looked up now.
Mark from Pennsylvania and Amelia from Longview.
All right.
Woo! That was fast.
Well, I want to thank you guys for giving me the opportunity to come and share.
And I do believe you'll be back the second week of December.
I believe so. I will get back on my Facebook. Actually, I'll make sure you have my number and stuff before I leave tonight.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a great way to start
really
the
enjoyed
program.
meeting
Enjoy meeting you.
Next week's guest is to be determined for right now. Guest is to be determined for the minute right now.
Oh, I can tell you who's supposed to be who it is.
Pretty much. I'm not gonna lie.
What are we talking about today? Mental health.
Mental health.
Yeah.
Big shout out to
Her
Lynn,
name is Mandy.
Mandy, something like that. Next week's guest. Folks, is to be determined for a minute. Thank you, Lynn, for letting us use your restaurant.
Yay.
If you want to get burger or fries or whatnot, come down to 1232 Powers. I think that's it. Fall Festival's coming up in the 20th of October. We'll go more about that later.
Fundraiser for the dinner put on by Liz Ice Cream Yogurt and more.
The 30th is a networking event. I don't know if he's already covered these.
That, yeah, I did, but yeah, I've never heard some people. So yeah.
So join us next week, same time, same place.
Peace.
And check out 420 Holiday next to Winco.
Yes. Next to 5 Guys. So every day.
Right next to Five Guys, actually.
Or 20 days a year.